Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about what could have been Mariah Carey's acting debut. In 1998, she was approached to star in a remake of the 1990 spy film Agent 00 Soul, alongside comedian Chris Tucker. The film was a spoof of the James Bond series, with Chris Tucker playing a charismatic secret agent. Mariah was slated to play the stepdaughter of the movie's main villain, who was also Tucker's love interest. Directed by Antoine Fisher, production was set to start in May of 1998. Mariah canceled the North American leg of her Butterfly World Tour to be involved in the project, performing only one show in Hawaii.
Kristen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kristen.
Hi, Kristen. The U.S. tour kind of was diverted a little bit because I was waiting to shoot 00 Soul with Chris Tucker, and now we're still waiting on the script, so that kind of got messed up with that in that process. But I did one show in Hawaii, which was really a lot of fun, and we have a TV special. Actually, Trey is on it with me as well, and a few other special guests, and that's coming on in December.
In a now-released script, the film would follow Chris playing a low-ranking agent who was instantly promoted after his entire squad gets taken out. His mission is to stop Mariah's father from releasing a missile on the Capitol while the president is giving a speech. He falls in love with her in the process, and the two join forces to stop the destruction. In a scene similar to the Men in Black, Chris gets to test out all of his new gadgets, one of which is the knife O.J. Simpson used. This gag gets brought up multiple times in the film and comes in handy when he needs it to escape being tied up at the end of the movie. Being that this was a spoof film in the late 90s, there were lots of things from around that time being parodied. Although we have a script to read now, it's been through several iterations with Chris Tucker stepping in to finish it. However, in 1998 the studio wasn't happy with it and ordered that a new one be written, feeling that it was too close to Austin Powers, which came out the year prior. Chris was wrapping up filming for Rush Hour at the time, and convinced the directors to use Mariah's song Fantasy in the now famous car scene as a nod to what was supposed to be his next project. But as the fall rolled around, there was still no acceptable script, and the studio opted to scrap the entire thing. Mariah would sign on to do a song for the Prince of Egypt soundtrack with Whitney Houston, and soon began working on a film titled All That Glitters, which would later turn into Glitter instead. She would join Chris at the premiere of Rush Hour, and the two remained great friends. He would even introduce her to Jackie Chan, who later choreographed the fight scene in Mariah's video for Heartbreaker. Both her and Chris expressed disappointment in the canceling of the movie, but that wouldn't be their last time working together. In 2005, Chris would appear in Mariah's video for her song Shake It Off. Mariah spoke about this in an interview with Nessa Kaepernick recently and stated that it was one of her favorite filming experiences.
Shake It Off. Okay, Mariah, we talk about the video.
Shake It Off.
Song.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
How much fun did you have with Chris Tucker in the video?
That was one of the most fun video making moments I've ever had, if not the top one.
Wow.
And it was so crazy because Chris called me and was like, well, you want to get Chinese food? And I'm like, Chinese food? Okay, that does sound good. So he comes over to the set. He comes over to the set and he brought the Chinese food, but we were like in that car setup, and I was like, you want to get in the video? I didn't know, it's kind of like rude to ask somebody, but he was there with the Chinese food. So he said yes. And then we have that iconic scene, which I live for.
Yes, it is so good.
This is a moment. This is a surprise moment. This doesn't happen on video shoots where a superstar of this magnitude just shows up and said, okay, let me get in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Tucker.
What's up? Took care of business. That's what I did. And what's the name of the song?
Shake It Off.
Shake it. I told her to shake him off.
Shake It Off.
He ain't for you.
This is when Chris sings my song, though. Can you sing a little bit? And
It's gonna be the dance and the song
Oh,
get
he's
her
gonna
up.
sing it.
It's gonna be and then the found
Oh, he
out.
does the video.
It's gonna be then somebody's there. We belong together.
Somebody's daddy.
morning time, yeah. Ooh, it's gonna be dead and nobody there. We belong together. That's what I kept telling Mariah all the time. We belong together.
Exactly. Access has been granted.
Get away from my Lambo.
I'd love for an interviewer to ask Mariah about Double O Soul. I'm sure she'd be pleasantly surprised that someone remembers and/or has heard of it. She has had so many interesting moments throughout her career, and it seems like most people just recycle the same questions. Despite the film not being made, it still inspired others in the late 90s and early 2000s, indicating that it could have been a success had it not been canceled. How do you think things would have turned out if this was Mariah's first movie instead of Glitter? And would you have watched it had it been made? Although she's currently working on her biopic, I'd love for her to take on another film in the future. And with a rumored Rush Hour 4 in the works, I'd love for Mariah to make a cameo. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have for today. If you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.